This presentation is how to support and enhance the learning of gifted students. Teachers generally did not receive the training to best meet gifted students' needs. This program aims to help teachers enhance and support the learning experience of their gifted students. Studies have shown that teachers' professional development greatly impacts the achievement of their students. The better equipped and knowledgeable that they are with their gifted students, the better they will be able to help them reach their full potential. Overexcitability is shown in gifted students where they have heightened sensitivity to stimuli. There are positives and negatives that come with overexcitability. However, it is a special gift to have this intense awareness. The intensity can be intellectual, where they are able to think deeply and analyze information. It can also be imaginational, where they are able to use creativity to come up with their own ideas and create metaphors. Overexcitabilities can become over-exaggerated, and teachers must be able to recognize this. A student with an imaginational intensity may mix up fantasy and reality. A gifted student with intellectual intensity may ask a lot of questions. As a teacher, you must accept these qualities and be flexible with them. Teachers and parents must be informed of these overexcitabilities and accept the gifted child as they are. They must be patient with the child, as they cannot control these intensities, and this is the reality that they live in. With overexcitability, they need order, sensitivity, and support. Teachers can prepare the students ahead of time for any changes about to occur. The best way to support intensities is to show love, patience, and acceptance always. Underachievement can easily happen when there is a disconnect between a student and the school or a student and the teacher. If the teacher is pushing the student too hard, or not hard enough in the case of most gifted students, underachievement can occur. Boredom in school is a common reason for underachievement in gifted children. They may be perceived as lazy, but really the material just isn't intellectually stimulating for them. The underachievement may be stemming from the home if the family is in survival mode. Teachers must remain aware of what is happening outside the school environment. Parenting styles can affect underachievement as well if the parents' and gifted students' views do not align. There are things that teachers can do to help prevent and support underachievement. Improving the 5 C's is a great way to help prevent underachievement. The 5 C's include control, choice, challenge, complexity, and caring. Gifted students want to feel in control of their environment and have independent work. They also need choice opportunities in an environment where they feel comfortable acting in a way that they prefer. Gifted students need to be challenged, or they will easily become bored with the curriculum. This goes along with having complexity in the classroom. Gifted children like to explore unfamiliar tasks and opportunities. Lastly, they need their teachers to be caring. Having support and flexibility from their educators is important to reach their full potential. Some people tend to equate high motivation with giftedness, but that is not always the case. As has been pointed out, high ability does not mean you will have high achievement. And just because you are gifted does not mean that you will show the gifted behavior. Gifted students may try to hide their gifts, and that is how they become perceived as unmotivated. Every person is motivated by different things, and even though a child may be gifted in an area, they may not enjoy it. If something is not enjoyable, nor do we feel that we gain any benefit from it, we will not be motivated to do it. However, there are a few things we can do to increase motivation. To increase motivation in gifted children, we must look at 3 behaviors: challenge seeking, persistence, and task enjoyment. Gifted students might not be motivated to meet their academic needs, but they will be motivated to meet their psychological needs. As teachers, we must make sure the curriculum is not boring to the gifted student, or they may become unmotivated. If they are bored in school, they will find their motivation elsewhere. Teachers must understand that motivation is based on intrinsic and extrinsic factors that look different for each person. Educators should focus on the learning process that is happening in the students and less on constant evaluations. The teacher should work with the parents and the counselor to get to know what motivates the child so they can best understand how to reward and teach them. Gifted students also tend to be under-challenged in regular classroom settings. These under-challenged settings tend to lead them to hide their abilities. Acceleration allows for these students to be challenged. They need to be placed in classrooms homologous to their academic level instead of their age. Every child learns in a different way, and classrooms must be different to accommodate all types of learners. Gifted students do not need to be with peers of their same age in order to have a healthy social and academic development. Classrooms homologous to ability level create equal treatment of unequals. Gifted students differ in their learning experience from others because they ask more thoughtful questions, retain information longer, and don't need much review. They still need to study all main areas that most students do, but need to do so with students of their same ability. Gifted students should feel comfortable asking questions and going into depth in their classes. There is seldom time available for this in normal classroom settings. Gifted students do well with direct instruction, which is not normally used in U.S. classroom settings. In this teaching method, there is lots of memorization and information that is taught. Gifted students usually enjoy this because of the automatic ability to memorize information and perceive it abstractly. This teaching method is found to have the strongest correlation to student achievement in gifted children in the lecture format. To enhance the learning experience of gifted children, we also need more creativity in the classroom, which will be discussed now. Creativity is important for gifted students to express their talents. However, it is hard for teachers to foster creativity in the classroom. Most teachers lack knowledge of teaching creativity. There are 3 important factors that allow creativity to flourish in the classroom. They are perception, action, and impact. Perception is being able to see the complexity of the world. Action is accomplishing a new purpose, and impact is coming up with something that can make an impact in the world. Reading is a simple thing that can foster creativity that is already part of the curriculum. Teachers can use the readings to make connections to the real world, facilitate discussions, and create individual projects. Creative writing, of course, allows for creativity as well. This gives students the opportunity to use their imagination and write about whatever they may please. This could include anything from essays to poems to research reports that allow students to connect their own ideas with the real world. Lastly, the teacher and classroom environment is important for fostering creativity. The teacher and classroom environment should be open. The students should have independence and freedom, and higher-level thinking should be encouraged. This encourages students to create their own content and evaluate their own ideas. The teacher does not have to assign lengthy work for the students to be creative if they are able to create that welcoming atmosphere. And now lastly, we will go over meeting the social and emotional needs of gifted children. Gifted students have the same likelihood of psychopathology as non-gifted students, and most are not unique to them. They actually were found to have less depressive symptoms, higher self-reliance, and better attention than their average peers. However, they do have some social and emotional problems specifically related to their giftedness. The school culture can greatly affect the social and emotional development of gifted children. They tend to be labeled as nerds and feel isolated from the norm. This can lead them to hide their talents and not want to socialize with other students. Gifted students also tend to be perfectionists and very critical of failure. Their intensities and perfection tendencies can easily lead to stress. Teachers can prevent the isolation treatment of gifted students by compacting the curriculum, focusing on real-life situations, and encouraging students to be active in their own learning process. These strategies will help the atmosphere of the classroom, especially in those mixed ability classrooms. However, intensive instruction needs to be offered by teachers to meet the emotional along with academic needs of gifted children. Teachers should work with the counselor to make sure that these gifted children's emotional needs are being met. A discussion group for gifted students to connect and express their feelings can be helpful. Teachers of gifted children must realize their intensities and be knowledgeable on many topics. There are a few things that the National Association for Gifted Children recommends that all teachers of gifted children should possess. They must be knowledgeable on the origins of intelligence and how it is expressed. They should understand social, emotional, and cognitive needs of their gifted students. It is important to have access to advanced curriculum, and they must be able to develop a curriculum to meet those academic needs. Lastly, gifted students need to feel challenged and safe in their classroom environment. Although the teacher of the gifted child does have the student for most of the day, it is very important that they are collaborating with the parents and the counselor. They all must work together to help the gifted child feel safe and accepted. Counselors can use their skills to actively listen to the child and pay attention to their feelings. Group projects can help gifted children interact and make new friends. Having speakers for mental health agencies come and speak to gifted students can be informative on the topic. Panels of college students or successful adults can give tips on motivation and overcoming challenges. Lastly, parent groups can help to enhance the family dynamic. Here, parents learn how to communicate with their gifted child and help them develop in a healthy manner. Overall, it is important that all three of these are collaborating to fully enhance and support the learning of gifted children.